is going on, everybody? OC with NoiseROT TV, and we are at Deep Ellum Art Co. in Deep Ellum, Dallas. That's where we're hanging out for an awesome show tonight. But tonight, actually, this band actually played our very first show that we ever threw together as NoiseROT. So this is kind of a big full circle moment. David, you played our first show. So today we have Sani Bronco. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Hell yeah.
How's it going?
Good. So this is what, the third night of tour for this one?
It's actually the second to last.
Second to last?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How's it been so far?
It's been like incredible. So fun. Like, yeah.
It's been, I mean, as far as like what I've seen, it's been a little bit since you've gone actually out on the road. I've seen you play like a few shows closer to like your area, but this is like
right.
A run that hasn't happened in a little bit. So.
Yeah. Believe it or not, this is our second tour that we've ever done as a band. And the last one was almost 2 years ago. So it was 2022, January 2022.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, it's been a while. So.
And you were saying like it's a bit of an interesting part of the lineup because it's an acoustic like tour, and then y'all are like playing full band.
Right.
But I think I don't know. I think it's a good twist into people who are going to see an acoustic show and just get like an actual like the openers like just coming in full throttle, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
So is this normally the band that tours with you like all together?
So yeah, that's a pretty interesting. That I mentioned this a couple days ago that. This project started off as a solo project, me writing stuff by myself. But over time, people started cementing their way into the lineup. Mm-hmm. And I feel like now we really are a band. We're starting to be a band. We wrote this new record we have together. Everybody else plays on it. And so, yeah, to answer your question, definitely, it does feel like we are starting to be a band.
So this is So this is Sani Bronco now. Okay,
right.
Cool. We'll get back to this, but the name, first of all, Sani. I was calling you Sani for like forever until that first show, and you're like, "Hey, my name's David." I'm like, "Wait, hold on, what's going on? Like, what is Sani?" I thought your name was like Santiago or something.
Right.
But so where's that name come from?
So believe it or not, me and my brother Sergio had a friend growing up named Sani. His name was Sani. And when I wanted to name this project, I wanted to call it something that sounded like a name of a person, but could also sound like a band. Okay. Like sort of like teetering those two lines, right? But funny enough, people call me Sani all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say successful because, I was like, I think that's a name. Like, it sounds like it. But you were saying, back to this, where you mentioned it, so y'all wrote a record together. Does that include the single that just came out this year, right? Or is there something completely?
Right. So it is completely different, but these guys were on that new single as well. Yeah. None of the new record has come out yet. Okay. So no singles yet, but
Oh, were you supposed to talk about that? Hold on. I'm trying to look at the rest of the band's faces. Like, hold on.
Should get cool by introduce the guys here?
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
All right. So to my right is Skylar Caparici. Plays guitar, and Skylar's got his own project on the way as well. Ooh, under his name, Skylar Caparici. So be on the lookout.
Start all the plugs.
Say hi, Skylar.
Hello.
Here we got Chris.
How's it going? I'm Chris. I play drums and a couple other bands too, but yeah.
Drop them.
Another band called Sweet Pill, another band called Goings, another band called Typo Pro.
Nice, I'm great.
Kyle Bossler, play guitar in Sani Bronco.
Right on.
Yeah. Okay. So this record and the single before that is that the first time this iteration of the band is like working together to write music together? Because you were saying it was like solo before. Yeah. What was that experience like now that you have an actual like full band working on music?
So 100%. The first record was a cool experience, but it did feel like kind of lonely, just being in the studio, like you're tracking all the guitar parts, the bass parts, the this parts. It feels kind of like, I don't know, it's cool, but this time around it's so much better to like have everybody's styles, everybody bringing their different way of playing, and just being able to share the camaraderie, like celebrating, like making a record together,
Yeah.
and, like being a part of something. To me, that's what I always wanted. I would much rather be in a band than be a solo artist because it's kind of lonely, you know?
Yeah, there's a good like just hanging out with your friends aspect to it, and if like you're all writing music together and that's what you love to do, then you're just fucking hanging out and like you have somebody actually. If you write something cool, you have someone right there to be like, "Is this fucking cool?"
Right.
Also, people to check you and be like, "Hey, maybe keep working on that one." Like you know, because I've had I always talk about when I was in a band and I was the vocalist. So I would write lyrics, and then like sometimes I saw the ones that got through, and I looked at my band. I'm like, "How'd y'all let me get it? How'd y'all let me say this?" You know what I mean? Who's out there like double checking these things?
Yeah.
But you're the just the social aspect of it, and then just the building chemistry, but which is the hard part in like building a band is finding people you actually get along with, and not only that, it's like to write together is very, very difficult.
Right.
So everybody's played in like other bands before, or still. So is there any like bleed over into like the writing for this style, or are you trying something completely new with the writing in this band?
Well, for me personally, I think this is a lot different from the other stuff that I'm a part of.
Okay.
Just because like, you know, it's got that indie rock vibe, but like sometimes it's like a little bit like, you know, driving. The other stuff I play is more like sort of like math rock type stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the other one has like a synth in it. So this kind of has some synth every now and then, but like, you know, it's kind of just sprinkled in.
Yeah.
But it's cool to be a part of something that's like a little bit different from what I've been doing before.
Yeah. I think it definitely, most of the time it bleeds over in a good way, because like you start learning like different aspects and just like kind of broadening your other genres as well, which to me, like some of my favorite bands are the ones doing that, like bringing elements from other stuff into like the writings for like this band, where like the quote unquote is like, oh, this shouldn't be written in this type of music, but it is, and then you write some cool stuff. Hell yeah, trucks. It's just also to bring the notice that we're outside Deep Ellum Art Co, and it's kind of cool. We adapt.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so the reception on the tour has been pretty great from what I've seen, just even some videos, even like the whole like, I mean, you just had a birthday not too long ago, and having that on tour just must be like just a fun time to celebrate. I don't think how you could celebrate it any like funner.
Oh, I swear it's had to have been like a core memory was like implanted that night, because I'm like, dude, I am gonna remember this forever. Like it was great. But no, the reception has been way beyond, like way better than I could have imagined. You know, it's like, you know, you always hope that people are gonna like it, but just people coming up and being like, yo, you guys you guys killed it. And feeling like people mean it, you know, because there
you go.
Sometimes like dope set, and it's like they're standing outside or
how many of us have experienced the whole like, oh, great set thing, and we're like,
I didn't play.
Did you really? Were you here? Did you see it? But yeah, like, how do you handle that? Does that affect you quite a bit as far as like, because writing music, I think primarily is for yourself. You were writing the stuff that you like to write. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But being able to have a reception to where other people like it too is always like a really positive reinforcement to that. The other side, does that ever affect you? Like if someone doesn't respond to it, like how much do y'all take that personally, you think?
Well, cool by
Yeah. For sharing.
I feel like no matter what you do, people aren't gonna like it.
Yeah.
Probably even more than the people that actually do like it, or people that just don't even care. But at the end of the day, you do it for yourself, you know? And like we all have that bond. Like it's not always like sunshine in the van, but like at the end of the day, we play a set and it's just, we have fun.
Yeah.
And it's just about having fun. And then we've been very fortunate to meet awesome people on the, you know, like at the merch table, and that they'll buy a shirt, and like it goes a long way. And then you end up talking to them, you make a new friend. It's like, hopefully next time we do this, we'll see them there, and maybe they'll bring a friend. And that's the beauty of music. It's like this bond. You know? Everyone becomes one. I mean, that's a little dramatic.
Yeah.
But, it's just, but
But that makes perfect sense in making those connections. And I, for one, like I feel like those in-person connections on tour are the ones that end up bringing people back to your sets and shows, more than like an online like presence or something like that. Because if you meet someone and you think that they're like their music was cool, and then you go and you're able to talk to them at the merch for a little bit, and like, oh, they're a cool person. That one person is the one that brings back a friend like the next time. And then like, or then, you know, if it's only 2 to 3 people, those people bring back more. That's why like I feel like it's so important. I mean, it's like super cliche or whatever, but it's like to play like 100% every time, no matter who's in the room, because those are the people that will come back or remember. Like I've had plenty of bands where I was part of, you know, the 5 people in the crowd, but saw them give it their all. I'm just like, oh shit, like I need to tell people about this band, and been the one just like word of mouth, just trying to spread like music. And I feel like I take that from like from a friend or someone that knows my music taste. If they come up to me and be like, hey, I think you'll really like this, goes way longer way than somebody like seeing like something randomly like pop up, or someone messaging me a song or something like that. If someone knows me and went to see a band and be like, hey, you should check these people out. I found tons of people that way. And it's super, it's really cool. And I love that when bands really do those performances, whole ass in them the whole time. You know what I mean? Because you're up there having fun. Like hopefully you're writing the music that you want to write. You know what I mean?
People love seeing people have fun.
Yeah, exactly. I think it just reciprocates. Like if you're having fun on stage, like people out there are just gonna want to do the same thing. You know what I mean? I've done that. We were talking a little bit about like the hardcore scene. That's something I've gotten into this year because I never thought I'm not gonna fit in there. That's not my jam. That's not my vibe. And then I went to a few, and just seeing these bands just like put out the energy they do, it just feeds back and forth. And just seeing kids go crazy, I'm like, this is great. Like this is all it takes. Like, you know what I mean? And being able to open yourself up to like new experiences. But that's really cool that you had like really nice experiences on tour so far. Like you said, this is touring is not something that you've been doing super often. With this tour, you know, more than halfway through it, is that something like you guys are trying to open up to more?
Oh, dude. Yeah, most definitely. This has been like a taste of the good life, right? It's kind of like I don't want to stop now. Like I'm like, man, next one, you know, like hopefully the next one's even longer, you know. But yeah, no, I think next year we're gonna try our best to try to get involved with something. Find an opportunity if anybody will like throw us on, you know, put us on. But yeah, no, we're, especially with the release of the new record, we want to tour it for sure. How do you
guys look into the whole thought process behind that, since you have a record like in the pocket right now, about like having like a release strategy and stuff like that? Like what is that thought process for y'all? Is that something they really like are putting a lot into? Or kind of just like, we just want to share music? Yeah, no, I actually really like all that stuff. Sometimes you hear bands are like, I just want to make the music. I don't want to do the Instagram or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I like doing it. I like the rollout process because I like experiencing it as a fan from other bands. Like bands that I like, whenever I see them drop the single, they got the photos, they got the graphics. I'm like, I get hyped. And so I honestly just try to take notes from people that I like, you know, bands that I listen to, and see how I really liked how they dropped, like rather than dropping one single, they dropped 3 at first and then something like that, right? I think Turnstile did something like that a while back for Glow On. They like put out like 3 songs initially and then like kept adding it to where there was like 6 songs before the record was even out or something like that. Yeah, I've seen. I think this year the one that really I liked the release of it was the new Sleep Token record. The way they did, they released like 3 singles. I think it was like on a 2-week basis. Or it was like 4 singles, and then they didn't drop anything. They waited like a month and a half, then like another one. Yeah. But then you got a whole album like 2 months later, so you still had to wait on something. Yeah. But it definitely like worked as far as like drive. Like people wanted more and more, and it was funny because I felt like, oh, we're just gonna get everything every 2 weeks, and all of a sudden it just gone. Yeah. And I feel like it just got the crackhead out of people. I'm like, I need more. Trying to get out. But I mean, it's important, especially because you want to be able to play this music and tour and do stuff like that, and for that to happen, like you need people to
Be hyped.
Yeah, be hyped and listening to those songs. And it makes for like a really fun live experience if people know the words and are singing back or like know when like something's about to hit. But it's super important, and I do see like that other side of it where it's like, dude, I just want to write and I just want to hang out and play.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you're trying to do with it, man. I think at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I think it can both be fun because you don't have to do, I don't know, like the cookie cutter stuff too.
Right.
Because I know that feels painful to do. Like when you're like, I don't want to do that. But there's like, I've seen like people who just like would do rig rundowns because they like their stuff. And I was like, cool. Like there's a niche, there's someone out there is interested in that for you. There's someone who's like, how do you tackle your writing process? Yeah, some people will be into that. You know what I mean? It's just finding out what you enjoy. With like us doing NoiseROT and stuff like that, I've run into that issue. So I have to create content for everything. And I'm just like, what do I like making? You know, what do I like watching and like doing? Right. So that's like what I've been trying to do. But it's a really weird thing to figure out sometimes. Is everybody based out of Vegas?
So me, Skylar, and our bassist Nick are from Vegas, and Chris and Kyle are from Philly, actually.
Really? Yeah. Okay. How did that happen?
You wanna tell the story?
Yeah. So I saw David make a post on a Facebook group and saying drop your Instagram usernames, and I was like, okay, I'll drop mine. And then we just became friends. We started talking, and he really liked my bands, and then he asked me to play drums on the new album that's coming out. And once we recorded in New York, we were just like, all right, well, like if we ever want to like play live, like, do you want to play drums? And I'm like, yeah. Sure. I recorded it, so like, yeah, I want to play it. And then I recruited my my good buddy Kyle over here, who I've known since like 3rd grade.
Cute. Wow, 3rd grade.
He was like, he's like, dude, you should bring my buddy Kyle on. And I was like, is he good? And he's like, oh, he can play like any song you could ever imagine. And I was like, all right, dude, if you vet him, I'm down. And sure enough, like, he's fucking awesome.
That's a good hype man right there. He's like, any song you ever heard. Right. This guy got to.
Go get a guitar.
Really? No,
he'll prove it right now. That's cool though. I love that bands are able to form that way now, because it used to be like whoever's just around you, like that's who you have to kind of work with. But being able to open yourself up to artists all over the place, even like people writing stuff with people not even in the same country or whatever, and doing stuff. Like I had a friend who does hip hop, but he like recorded a song with somebody in, where was it? Somewhere in Central America. But then they went together to shoot the music video in Colombia because they knew another guy there. Like he knows people from all over. Yeah. But being able to just like create stuff with people from any place, especially now with like being able to demo anything from anywhere, and y'all send just each other stuff back and forth. I think that's the coolest thing that's come out of like the most recent years in time, how people are just working with each other.
I love that. Yeah, people, you know, sometimes you hear it's like I was born in the wrong generation. I'm like, dude, I was born in the right generation, dude. Like send freaking like files back and forth with each other and like write music that way. It's awesome, you know? Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that this is now like the official like lineup for Sani. I'm excited to see that, because I was always wondering that, because I know you started it on your own. Yeah. And you know all of the beginning stuff was just like you creating all that, like the entire process. But you being able to share it and write with more people seems really freaking exciting.
Yeah, it is really cool. And obviously, you know, I sort of tell these guys like, you're welcome to be as much or as little involved as you want. You know, with like the promotional stuff. Like, you know, I don't want. They all have other commitments, so I'm not trying to like take away their time from their other projects and stuff. So I sort of, it's like the door's open for them to be as much involved as they want. So they want to do like the photo shoots together. We all did some music videos together, and like so yeah, it's sort of like, you know, I would love them to be involved in everything, right? But it's also cool for me to let them know that, like, you know, you got to do your thing. Like, don't worry about, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's this. I mean, just getting together to be able to do that, or even like, I'm sure this tour took like somewhat of like managing commitments everywhere else to figure out how to like get even these like this short run like to get together and be able to do it. I mean, you're talking about two sides of the actual like country, like but still making it work. You know what I mean? Because it's something you want to do, which I think it's what should be the driving force for like most every musical project. He's like, if you want to do it, like you'll find a way to do it, kind of.
Yeah.
If you want to be involved in it. And overall, like I'm sure, like on the road has just been fun. Even with like mishaps that happen along the road. Have you guys had anything happen on this one like that kind of messed something up?
Well, a little bit. The brakes on the touring van are kind of squeaking and they're scaring the hell out of us. We got to get it fixed tomorrow, actually.
Oh, really?
Because we have a long drive back from Houston to Vegas, so we got to get them fixed before.
Oh no!
But besides that, we're living. We're like, it's so funny. Like, well, yeah. Here, let me give a.
Hold on.
I just like to sleep more. That's all.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun. A lot of fun. I'm just like. Just the energy is making me feel like I got like 10 hours of sleep.
Oh,
like when I go home, I'm gonna like crash.
But it's all just gonna pile up together.
Yeah, it's been so fun though.
Is that a raccoon?
Sorry.
Sorry, I just saw something.
No,
It's raccoon.
cool. We got a raccoon here.
I'm gonna give this to Skylar real quick. I want to let him have a few words here.
Well, I feel like I've seen you in a few other bands. I was gonna bring. I'm like, he's in the corner over there, but I've seen you play with quite a few bands. I'm trying to remember exactly within the past like year.
Yeah, this year I played for a good handful, mostly with a band called the Marionette.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
did a Donovan Malero tour. I played with this guy.
Did you just play here then with the Donovan Malero tour?
No,
This is like
that
a-
one was going on during this.
Oh,
tour,
okay.
So they
What about,
cross streamed.
Kurt, were you playing with Kurt recently?
Not this year, no.
Oh.
But yeah, I played with Kurt too.
Yeah.
Just kind of playing around with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was like, man, I've seen you in a few bands, which like, well, you remember Ed actually, at the time that you came the first time, he was playing in, I think it was like 5 or 6 bands at a time. Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, man. And he's like, yeah, we would talk and he's like, I don't have time for anything. And then the next week I'd see him like, he joined another band and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you can say no. He's like, I know, but I like playing. Oh, you do? Hell no. And that's the thing. He's like, he's the same way. He's like, I just love playing like guitar. He's like, that's all I like want to do. Like, so I am playing with whoever will let me. You know what I mean? And right now he's stuck to 2 projects for a while now. But also I'm always jealous because like when I was in a band, like we never got to tour. So just being able to see him go from state to state, city to city, and like, actually I was talking to one of my friends who plays in a band called Unity TX, and he was telling me, just like, oh yeah, we were like in Spain and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is wild to me, this is where like it's taking you, man. It's so cool, being able to do what you love and just having the greatest time, which on tour, it just feels like you're hanging out with your friends for just a while. So yeah, I can see a little bit, people get on each other's nerves here and there. At the end of the day, you're playing music with your best friends, so it's gotta be really cool, but so the record, no release date yet. You're just looking at it sometime 2024.
Tentatively April, with the idea to start dropping the singles in February, March, and April. Basically, we have almost everything locked and loaded. We just need to get some music videos colored, like corrected, and that's about it. Once we get those, I'm ready to go. Like, we're just trying to put this stuff out, you know? Especially with the momentum of this tour. I don't want to go like too long without, putting some stuff out and keeping that hype alive a little bit. Yeah.
This is a nice tour definitely to start getting your name out there, preparing people for that record about to drop. Yeah. I think that's gonna be perfect. I'm excited to hear what the new music sounds like. I heard like the new single, and I know was still even a little bit like more different than what the original stuff was. So I'm like, okay, like where's this going? So now like hearing that there's an album, I'm even more stoked to like hear what like that whole project is. But yeah, I don't know how long you have until you have to play, so I don't want to take up too much time.
Not at all.
But yeah, so the tour, the album's coming out next year. Yeah, I just think it's all going great. I'm just seeing you and seeing like the new band and stuff like that, like everybody together, just like makes me excited. The fact that like we've kind of kept in touch for 2 years is pretty awesome to me, to be honest with you.
Dude, me too.
I was doing the whole like, hey, would you like to do it?
It's a pleasure.
The fact that you were excited like got me pumped. I'm like, fuck yeah, like okay, cool.
Dude, absolutely. I instantly clicked with you guys when we hung out, or the first time we ever met 2 years ago. And shout out Ed, by the way.
Yeah,
I
shout
still
out Ed.
follow him too, and like keep up with everything he's got going on. But yeah, I think what you guys are doing awesome with NoiseROT, and it's fucking cool. I love all the clips, and I'm like, I don't know, I like rooting for cool people, and you guys are rad, and
Thank you. We're the same way, like with you. So that's why we're like keeping in touch with like you has been like really awesome. It's like, oh, the same thing. Like I felt like we did that like at that first day. I'm like, oh, I feel like we just got along like today. So it was
right.
It just felt nice, and being able to do this, you know what I mean, like is even more fun. So I'm sure with the new record you'll get to tour. So maybe we'll set it up to we'll actually get to sit down somewhere.
Yeah,
and do it.
yeah, no,
I'll
but this is
fix it up
awesome.
this time. But this is fun. This is fun. I've liked that I've had to like adapt to a few of these things, and I'm just like, dude, if I can just make it happen, I'm having a fun time. So it's going great.
And you're great at it too. Like it's seriously, man. And yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, I mean, NoiseROT just came out because we all used to play in bands or have been in the scene forever, and being able to help out the scene that brought us up and figuring out what are the better ways to do. Because you were bringing up promotion before, and just like, oh, you like some places you go, like some of the promoters are new at it, or maybe it's just a venue trying to book stuff.
Right.
And we've gone through a few of that, so we're like, okay, we're not here to bash anybody else. We're just figuring out like what can we do to do better.
Sure.
You know, what would I like when I was in a band? What would I for so like. I mean, you see like the little videos that we'll make for some of the bands that they're touring and stuff like that, and just learning about actually knowing who the band is, stuff like little common sense things, even just like knowing stuff day of, like from a promoter. You know? I've had promoters when I was playing a band tell me like an hour before that I needed to be at the venue, like, and I'm just like, hey, I'm still at work, like,
right.
in advance. But yeah, we've all just tried to do stuff positive, and like when I mean, because I started the actual I guess podcast proper has been going for like 2 years now too, and that just happened because we were doing a festival and I was like, oh, I can start a podcast,
right,
just saying shit that I didn't know I know how to do, and just like, yeah, we can do it, and it ended up being super fun, and it creates moments like this one. So I really, really appreciate you guys doing this with me. This is really awesome. And we will continue to work. If you guys need help with coming through town, let us know, because we are absolutely here for it. But yeah, I think we can wrap this up. Unless did you remember what you were going to say?
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you for the pleasure. The pleasure's ours. You know, this is awesome. You know,
You want to thank me for the pleasure?
No, seriously, I can't tell you how much this is appreciated. You know, it's cool to have this sort of opportunity to just, you know, have some content to share a little bit about ourselves and you know, get our music out there, because that's really what we're trying to do, you know?
Yeah.
So if there's ever anything we could do for you guys, you know, you shoot me a message, dude. Any sort of promo, whatever it is, dude. You know.
No, same thing. Let us know when you're planning to release these singles, because we've been working on stuff to promote music like that too, and we'll promote it with as much as we can.
Maybe do an exclusive with you guys. Share a little sneak peek song or something like that.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Cool.
But yeah, whatever we can do for y'all, same thing. You know, we really, really appreciate this. And then we're having a great time. I'm ready to see y'all play right now.
Sick.
So this is gonna be super fun. But again, thank you. This is Sani Bronco. We out at Deep Ellum Art Co. And then new album 2024. So look forward to that. And it's just Sani Bronco, right, on everything?
Yeah, it's a SANI Bronco. Yeah, it's basically, you know, on everything basically.
Okay, that works. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.